Hello guys, welcome to the JavaScript tutorial. And today we'll discuss about events, and we'll discuss more about event listener, event handlers, event propagation, and event delegation. So what is events? So events are action that place in the browser that can be initiated by the browser or the user. What is the event listener? The event listener means like we'll listen that event. It attach to an element and it will wait and listen if any event of that element fire or not. If it fires an event, there is a callback function attached to that the event listener, which is called actually event handler. So that will be executed when any event listen for that particular element. We'll take some example, then we'll get to know how event listener and the how event handler works. So already I just created one HTML page. In that HTML, I just created one parent div element, and we'll see how can we attach an event to the HTML element. Okay, so for that's why I just added event.js to the event HTML file. In here, I'll just try to get this ID by using document get element by ID, right? Let parent document dot get element by ID, then I'm giving parent. So that means I got the element. Now I want to attach the event listener to this element. So add event listener is a method where we can use the event name. I'm just giving click. Whenever we'll click on the div element, so this event should be listened and it will execute the event handler. So this is the event handler. The event handler is a JavaScript function that runs when an event fires. Okay, so now I'll just give alert called from parent. Okay, so now if we click on this open live server, then we can see the HTML. So this is the basically parent div element, and we have written in that example, if we click on this div element, it will just give me an alert. See called from parent, because when I just click on the div element, it is just calling here and it's checking, okay, if any event listener has been added to that element. Yes, if yes, then like I'm getting call from this parent. Now we already registered the event listener to that element. Now for the better memory management, when you see if that element is no longer needed, then we can remove that event listener from that element. So I'll create one scenario where after a few seconds we can remove the event listener from the element. So I'll use set timeout. Then the timeout I'm giving 2000 millisecond, and in this set timeout I'll just try to remove the event listener. So as the event listener they're using the same handler, I can just handler name here. Okay, yes. Then this handler I'll use here also. And when I do the set timeout, the remove event listener, and if I'll give here click and the handler both, let's see what it gives. So initially I got a call from this the parent. Then if I click on this, see I'm not getting any call. That means we have removed the event listener from that element. So that's how we can remove the event listener from the element. Now we can check what is that event listener right now. So there is a method in the Google Chrome that get event listener, and now I can give this element ID see, it's giving me empty because there is no event listener for this parent. But initially when I just click on this, let's see, okay, initially this, yeah, see, initially the event listener is there after 2 seconds. Now if we'll make the ones as a true, that means if we click on the div element, it will be clicked just only once. After that, it will be removed the listener from that element. Can you check that? And here I am giving once equals to true. So now we can check what is giving me get event listener. We can see it's giving us once is true. Now if we click on this, okay, call from the parent. Now if you click on this, see I'm not getting any call from the div elements. Now if you'll check this also, it's coming empty. That's why means if we don't want to use the remove event listener and this button should be clicked once, then we can just use the once as a true parameter like this. So now we'll discuss about the event propagation. What is the event propagation? The propagation means how the event travel through the DOM tree. DOM means like document object model. This structure contains the parent, child, or sibling elements. I'll show you here. So this is the event propagation some tree structure. If the parent has two child element, the child one and child two, the child one also have two elements, sub child one and the sub child two. In that way, we can just create a tree and all the trees connected to the root. The event needs to pass through every node of DOM until it reaches the end or forcefully stopped. It has two phases. One is event capturing, another is event bubbling. The event bubbling means it travels from target to the root. The root means we just signify the parent as a root. What is the target? Target is the DOM node on which we click. Suppose we click on this subchild 2, so that is mean the target. When the events goes from the child 2 to child 1, then to parent, so this process is being called event bubbling. So once we trigger the event, it will propagate up to the root and it will trigger every element handler. So now we'll discuss about the event capturing. This event capturing is opposite to the event bubbling. The event capturing means it travels from the root to target. So whenever it travels from parent to this child one or like subchild one, that means the mechanism or the process is being called event capturing. The event is first captured by the outmost element and propagate to the inner elements. So we'll take some example to understand how the event bubbling and the event capturing works. Now I just created the parent. Inside the parent, I just created the multiple childs. Inside the child one, I have created subchild one. Inside the subchild one, I have created subchild one. Basically, then if you'll see the HTML, then you can see this is the child one, then this is the child two, child three, child four. And this is the parent. Now I'll just go for the child document. Child means this is the C1. Okay, I'm giving child 1, child 2, child 3, and child 4. Okay, and in here, this is the sub child 1. Okay, and this is the ID will be sub child 1. If we'll do the child 1, then add event listener, just attaching one handler. In here, simply I just say the child one is being called. Now we'll just write the same thing for the child 2 or child 3, child 4. Child 2, child 3, then child 4. This will be child 2, this is child 3, this is child 4. Okay, now if you click on this child 1, we can see the child 1 is called, then the call from the parent. That's mean the event is traversing from the child to the parent. Now if we'll go for the same sub child 1, then you can see, just copy these things, simply giving to here. I would change the message like sub child 1 is called. Yeah. So if I click on the sub child 1, then you can see the sub child 1 is called, then sub child 1 is called, then child 1 is called, then call from the parent. Like from here, the event is triggering and is going to the parent. So that is how the event bubbling works. Now we'll check how the event capture works. So by default, the capture is false. If you want to capture any event, then we have to just make it true. And we can understand how it traverses from parent to child. Just make it true. I'm just checking for this subchild one only. Then this. And for parent handler also I'm giving true. Let's see how it's happened. So now if I click on this subchild one, we can see the call from parent. That means it's being traversing from the parent. Then if you click on this, see the child is called, then subchild one is called, then subchild one is called. So that is basically is calling from the parent to the subchild one first. So now we can discuss about like how can we create our own events. So first if we'll do like, okay, let own event equals to new event. In this event I'm giving some event name, that is I'm giving like, okay, code. So I've just created an event with the code name. Then if I want to add event listener to this element p, what I need to do, just p dot add event listener. Then what I need to do, just be code, and I'm giving one event handler. In here I'm writing alert the code event is triggered. When I just click on the parent, then in the handler I can just create these stuffs. Okay, yeah. Element. Now if I dispatch the event to that element, like dispatch event, then this event I need to pass. So this will happen when I just click on this parent element. Let's see. See, call from the parent, then the code event is triggered. So now if you want to add more data to event, then we can use the custom event. Means instead of new event, we can create our custom events. So basically this is the custom event equals to new, then custom event. Then I'm giving a name like code, and in here I'm giving is code done is true. So before executing this code, I just want to discuss about the event objects. The inside the event handler function, the event object is automatically pass to event handler. So this is the event handler, right? So the event object is passed automatically like whenever that event is triggered. So now we will see this is the event. Okay, like whatever you can give any name. I'm just giving EVE. So if I'll do the console log EVE, then you can see this is an event object, and that event object has so many properties. So the main properties I'll discuss, one is the event target, another is the event current target. The target means it represents the object on which the event has dispatched. Okay, and the current target means it identifies the element to which event handler attached. Suppose this is the element. If that event handler is attached to it, that means this is the current target. Now if we'll see what is event object gives us, already I've just added a extra data like is code done true also. So I'll get this boolean stuffs in the event object also. Parent one event is not defined. Okay, because I have removed that, I have to dispatch this only. Now let's see. Click on this, call from the parent, the code is given. See, this is the basically the event object. We can see all of the properties are there. If you want to read more these properties, you can just get it from the sites also. But in here I just told you, right, I'll discuss only the target. This is the target. So you can see this is the main target. Okay, I've done one mistake. In here I have to just write the detail, then inside I can just give is code done, then true. Let's see what it gives right now. We'll give this thing, then click on this, then if you see the detail is there, is code done. So we can pass our own parameter to the event also, and so we can see how can we get the current target or target value from the event. टारगेट का मतलब हो गया जहां पर हम लोग क्लिक कर रहे हैं, जहां पर वो एक्शन डिस्पैच हो रहे हैं, तो दैट इज द एक्चुअली टारगेट. करंट टारगेट का मतलब हो गया जहाँ पे हम लोग वो हैंडलर अटैच किया जिस भी एलिमेंट में, लाइक इफ आई अटैच दिस handler to the p element means it's a parent, then the current target will be the parent. We can get um, example with data like event dot dot target dot id. This is the target, and current target dot id of, I'll just target and current. See, if I click here, then we can see, okay, okay, dot id. Now if I click on this parent, then we can see the target and the current target is both same because I have triggered, or like the event has been fired from this parent itself. If I click on the child one, then the target will be the child one and the current target will be the parent. So in that way, we can catch the target and the current target value. So now we'll discuss about the event delegation. The event delegation is a useful pattern or technique that allow listening for events on many elements with just one event handler. Means, so we have the fourth child. If you want to attach four event handler, that is, I think it's not a good process. Instead of that, we can just use one handler to the parent, which will take care of all the elements. So that process is called event delegation. We can see with the examples. Uh, so I'll, const target to this. Now I can see like, okay, switch, then the target, then giving expression case one with case one, it will be like child one, then alert. What I said, like child one is called, right? In that way, child one is called. Then break case child two, then it will be like same, but in here we'll give child two is called. In that way, we can write for child 3 and child 4. And last, we can give default, just nothing I'm giving right now, break. So you can see how can we just attach one handler which will handle for the all the child elements, right? See, the child is called, this is child 2 is called. That means I didn't attach the event listener for the child 1 and child 2. I just attach the event listener to the parent. So, and with that handler, I'm just listening whatever the child is firing the events. So that's how the event delegation process works. So thank you for watching the video. We'll meet you in the next session, and please do subscribe the channel.